So, for some of you who don't know, I am the illustrious Perry James, and you're watching Hashtag Truth with Scott Larson. Cut! Somebody get that Zuckerberg guy on the phone. We gotta get Larson shut down.
Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday night. It's 7 p.m., so you know what that means. We are live right here on Hashtag Truth. And tonight we have the lovely Miss ALICIA Love. How you doing, ma'am?
I'm good. How about you?
I am doing great. Very excited. Been waiting 2 weeks for this. We had you on my schedule 2 weeks ago, and doing a little bit of talking on Facebook, and I got your match all ready to go. We're going to watch you wrestle here in a little while, but I want to make a quick announcement, and then we'll get right into the show. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we are only live on YouTube right now. Unfortunately, StreamYard, the system that I use, is having some bugs with Facebook. Nobody can seem to stream off of Facebook, so they're being boogers about it. I hope Zuckerberg gets that stuff straightened out. So hopefully everybody saw the link and clicked on the link. If not, ALICIA, send them to YouTube to Hashtag Truth, and they can see you for the whole hour, okay?
Okay.
Sounds good. All right, so let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, here we go. Tell us all about you. First question I ask every wrestler I have on my show, Miss ALICIA, is how did you get started in the, we'll start off with that. How did you get started in the crazy business of independent professional wrestling?
Honestly, it really started off with the being told it's not, appropriate for girls. So I stuck to watch it with my brothers, and then give it about a 3-year bounce. It started like, hey, this is on my TV. And mom's like, what did I tell you? And I'm like, well, hi. But
So you were told as a kid or growing up that watching wrestling wasn't appropriate for women?
well, now that I've understood like the history, like wrestling in the past, it was during, the era, the female,
Right,
eye candy. And so
right.
I saw it now growing up, but before I just kind of saw it as, hey, let me hang with the boys, because really I've grown up with 2 brothers and an older sister. So I wanted time. So
Yeah, I can imagine if you were growing up in the Attitude Era and you turned on the TV, you see everybody in the bra and panties matches and all that. Yeah, I would imagine, if I was a mother or a father and a daughter came up to me during that era and they showed me that as professional wrestling, I would have been like, no, my daughter, you ain't going nowhere near that.
yeah.
Oh, we already got Robert. Robert is he's a general here, man. He comes every day. Lafayette, Indiana, in the building. He wants to know where are you from?
I'm from Spartanburg, South Carolina. I really want to claim Georgia. That's really my hometown.
Okay, so you're from Georgia. Were you born and raised in Georgia?
Yes, sir.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. Peaches grow down there. I love peaches. I'm a fat guy. I mean, Georgia's a great state. I don't like their baseball team because I'm a Brewer fan, but hey, it's all good.
Yeah, I don't really follow baseball. That's one of the one sports I haven't been able to really watch and get
A
into.
lot of people say it's slow and boring. I love the game. I've watched it all my life, so I like all the sports. Don't get me wrong, but baseball is my favorite. Alicia, who was your favorite wrestler growing up?
Really, the first wrestler I got hooked on was male wise. It was John Cena, and it's a very corny, cheesy way. How?
Oh, we're all ears.
But I don't know if a lot of people remember this Nickelodeon movie called Fred the Movie, the kid with the high pitched voice.
Right.
I had only seen like John Cena wrestle maybe 2-3 times on a TV screen. So when I saw him, I'm like, hey, that's that wrestler. And then it went from that to, hey, I need that green shirt to, hey, if I don't catch Monday Night Raw, I'm very upset.
Hey, that's great. I mean, if John Cena pulled you into this world, that's an awesome thing. He's pulled a lot of people into this world. Trust me. Robert wants to know, do you have a dream opponent?
Honestly, before when I used to be highly active on Twitter, and I've probably preached this anyone on my Facebook, I love Marty Bell. That's really the girl who's inspired me, the girl who's inherited me. Like, hey, wrestle with your natural hair. It's okay. And so even to this day, it's like, I'm like, it has to happen one day. It's a goal. And I can't say my wrestling career will be complete, but that'll be the very, very highlight.
There you go. She was an inspiration, but have you met her? Have you trained with her or wrestled her or anything? Well, you didn't wrestle her, but have you trained with her or got any good information from her?
It really, like when I first became a fan of Marty, it was a lot of Twitter interactions ever since I was a freshman, and that, blew me out the way because, fangirl moment. Oh my God, my idol's talking to me. And then it led to my first time seeing her was when NWA started coming back to Georgia about 3 years ago.
Right.
And she had messaged me directly because I'm like, okay, if I can't meet her, I want to see her wrestle for the first time. And she shot me a very personal message, and then it happened right after the show, and that made my whole year.
See, I love that. I love when wrestlers who know that they've got, that they're inspiring other wrestlers, that they help them. You've got some wrestlers out there who are all about themselves and will do this and won't pay you no attention at all. Mm-hmm. I mean, but I love the wrestlers. I call it giving back. If you get a little popularity under you and you got somebody coming in new, teach them something. 5 minutes in the ring and you can teach them something. I mean, it ain't going to be, it ain't get them a career busting thing, but if that happens over and over and over again, you end up with a great wrestler. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Robert Brown says, have you ever thought about a faction at some point?
Honestly, I did have, well, it was really a faction. I tagged with Mayhem McQueen, and we had a little tag going on called Soul Love.
Okay.
All that big bro, that is still big bro.
Okay. Mr. McQueen, I like him. He used to come out to that dancing music. I love that. I hope you guys use that music because that was some good stuff. He come out juking and jiving. That's what I called it, juking and jiving.
See, if he sees this, don't worry. I'm gonna work on my dance moves. I don't have it, but I'm working on it.
I have got no rhythm. None at all. So don't worry about it. Oh man. So I'll tell you what, let's go ahead since we got a few people watching and let's do, I called my good friend Scott up and he, like I said, he watched you wrestle and he wanted to ask you a really good question. Now be prepared because he didn't beat around the bush. He just boom, gave you the question. Okay. So it's going to play the little intro and then he's going to ask the question and then it's going to pop out of it. So here we go.
Okay.
Do you feel like you're treated differently in wrestling because you're a woman?
Really quick. Did you feel different when you started wrestling? Did people treat you different because you're a woman?
Honestly, no. I'll off rip say no. It took the thing that really broke it for me to feel like it wouldn't turn into that one day was once that shyness, awkwardness phase of me broke. It's like, hey, you're a girl, not trying to scare you, but we're gonna treat you the same way you should treat us. Because my problem was I was, and still to this day I'm working on it. I'm too scared to hurt somebody because it's like, hey, you're still a girl, but they're like, hit us back the same, if not harder. And so
Right. Yeah, you can't go in there timid because somebody will get hurt. I've never wrestled, but I've heard that from every wrestler and wrestling coach I've ever talked to. You can't go in there timid. You gotta act like they're your boyfriend and they said something wrong, and you just gotta set them straight.
It's really a boost of motivation for me, because most of the guys that, between even when they first see me train, are the ones who I've worked with. They're like, dang, for a girl, this. And I'm like, it's no coggy stuff, but it makes me feel like, all right, I fit in. Like I say, I can hang with the big dogs. I'm glad y'all know. So
right, that's great. I love that confidence in you, and it's going to build the more and more you wrestle. I'm telling you. And the one thing that drives me crazy about independent wrestling, especially in our area, North Carolina, South Carolina, probably Georgia too, is there's not a huge amount of women's divisions. You might get a wrestling match here or a couple on this card, or there's really not a lot of places that have women's divisions like the WWE. Do you find that frustrating sometimes?
I mean, it's frustrating, but it's also still motivation at the same time, because I just recently had someone at UCW tell me, they're like, hey, we know you can work, we know you're good, we just don't have another female for you. And I was fine with it, even to go out and manage. And so it's like, okay, I might be a girl, but I can still add more to the wrestling scene that most people probably wouldn't expect at all.
Right. And I've seen a couple of matches now. I've seen you wrestle guys, so I know you can do it.
Yeah, that's really all, like, training. My first female didn't come until last year when I worked AML for the fundraiser show for Dre White. I worked Claire Carter, and that was my first female I've worked for, like, 4 years that I've trained, honestly.
Okay, I got you. I'll say one big rivalry you had, because I was looking on YouTube, and I do my homework. I look on YouTube. I look on you. I scrolled for almost an hour down your Facebook page. I'm not gonna lie to you, and saw all the stuff, and I noticed you had one big rivalry with one male at APW, and I bet you already know before I even say his name, Jay Stunner. Man, every few seconds, you versus Jay Stunner, you versus Jay Stunner. So how did that end up?
When you debut in a battle royal and they see a girl, they're like, I'm gonna take you out. So we exchanged a little bit, and he did get the upper hand. But then, when Alicia Love finally made her Love debut to Boiling Springs, I was like, all right, I'm gonna show you how much of a girl I am. So I guess I didn't like that. Her first night on the scene, it was like, wait a minute, this girl just beat me. I did.
That's what I'm talking about. See, I like that confidence. And, like I said, a lot of organizations are scared to do it, female versus male, because, a lot of people, it's like, it's not right to hit a woman. And I understand the concept. You want to teach, if you have sons or, stuff like that, and they're growing up, the first thing your parents teach you is, you don't hit a girl. So, they don't want kids to look up in a ring and see a guy beating the mess out of a girl. You know what I'm saying? It just don't look right. But there's sometimes when it just has to happen. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with it, as long as, you look at your child and you teach them, hey, this is wrestling. Okay. Yeah. This is, it looks real, but they're not really mad at each other. That's a teachable moment for your children. But yeah, you don't ever want to see that. And I think that's why a lot of promoters don't want,
Intergender.
But there's been some great matches. I mean, you and Jay Stunna had like 6 or 7, I believe.
I was offended. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get you now. Like,
yeah, I mean, I love that about you. That's you know, don't take it sitting down. You know, these guys come at you, go give it right back, and like they said, they'll be offended if you don't.
Yeah,
you know, and that's a good thing. I mean, I'm glad. I'm getting so into our conversation. I changed my getup here, and so I can talk with my hands. I'm part Polish, so I talk with my hands, and I don't have the microphone in my face like I usually do before. So I'm really enjoying this space in front of me. But let's see what's going on here. Robert said, hopefully I didn't miss anything. My internet was acting up. Did I miss anything? Nope, you haven't missed anything. Just question of the day, and you go back and watch that, Robert. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. It looks like Ray J. I'm gonna go with Ray J. Dr. Ray J. I think Mama's baby can take the men on anytime.
Hi, Mom.
That's your mom?
Is
oh, you did a great job. You did a great job. I love it.
Let me shout her out while I'm here. The first few gears that you saw when I debuted, that was from her.
Okay. That was her recording?
The recording, my gear, the hairstyles, that was Mama Love, all her.
Now, see, I was going to talk to you about that later on, but now that you brought that up, I have noticed that your ring gear has changed a lot. I mean, I've seen you come out in like you said you didn't like baseball, but you had a baseball jersey type shirt on at one time. And I love that look, you know, it looked good. And then you changed to it like normal ring gear later on. What made you do the change from one gimmick to another? Just outgrew the gimmick?
No, kind of more getting more into the Alicia Love scene of, okay, like you said, they see the shy girl start off and then she breaks out and she builds up even more. And with the gear that I'm working with now, it's kind of like something like, all right, it's kind of step out your comfort zone, be the same, but also something that, you know, I strongly believe in, that I want to put fans, like, you can still be yourself. You don't have to do this and this to, you know, not win people over, but make yourself notice.
I don't know who this is, but this is on me. Siri Show said any baseball jersey other than the Brewers, because they know I'm a Brewers fan. I got you. Robert Brown said, what year did you get in the business and how long have you been in the business?
Training wise, I've been in and out 2013. Of course, that was before I really fully understood wrestling. That, you know, there's an age limit, there's rules, so it's just strictly training. 2015, I'm sorry. And debuting wise, I made my debut during the Battle Royal last year in August for the Danny Paris Memorial Show.
Very good. Oh man, I missed that guy. Missed that guy so much. Did you ever get to know Danny? Did you ever meet Danny?
I didn't get a chance to meet him, but during that
man.
Stories.
Great wrestling mind. He was an announcer for a lot of years for a lot of wrestling shows. APW for many years. He did the TV announcing when they were on TV, when they were doing TV tapings. Great guy. As a matter of fact, my slogan for my show, give us something to invest in, came from him.
That is awesome.
Yep, that came from him. Robert loves this question, and he boom, he hit it right off the bat, both questions. What kind of music do you like, and do you listen to Tupac?
See, I'm a 2000s baby. So me, as like favorite music in general, maybe R&B, pop, hip hop. I've fought the urge finally in the past year saying I hate country. There's certain country I can tolerate.
I got you. I got you. My wife would love you to death. She grew up in the same, you know, late 90s, 2000s, and she loves R&B and pop and the boy bands and all that stuff. She got me into a lot of it. I didn't know anybody from R&B, and I thought, and I have a plethora of music I listen to, all kinds, but I mean, she got real deep into the R&B. She was telling me about this guy leaving this group and going to this group and telling me everything. And it was crazy, but I love my wife to death. Oh, okay. Sarah's show is Joe Burns, good friend of mine, comes on. Thank you for switching over to YouTube, Joe. I appreciate it. Unfortunately, they're having a lot. And yes, please say hi to Miss Alicia Love. That's who we're interviewing. My dad's watching, and he says, when you date a lady wrestler, you better be careful what you say and do.
You know, it's cool because I've seen a lot of posts of people saying, you know, female wrestlers, if you're dating a wrestler, follow this list. Males, I don't see the male dating a female, but for me, I'm a wrestler. My boyfriend's a wrestler. So it's like 25/7. It's like, we know what we're doing, where to go. It's really inseparable.
Okay, now that you done open those can of worms, you know what question's coming next. When you gonna wrestle the boyfriend?
Actually, I'm telling him that we did something a while, like November last year. It was me, Mayhem, and who did we tag with? Dion.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was as they were formerly the NG. It was him, Cat Daddy, and Curtis.
So you was in a 6-man tag with him on the opposite side.
It was.
Did you get the hot tag and get in there after him?
The crazy thing, like we started the match, and then we had a little moment near the ending, and I was so mad. So I'm like, you know what? I want to be the one to pin him, but I didn't. I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, we get in the bag. I'm like, I beat you. You lost. So
you still claim the win though. That's what counts.
I don't. He has it on his YouTube channel, but I don't. But I'll definitely find it on Facebook and be like, hey, let's all recall what happened.
I love that. And they can never take that away either.
No, like. And he still sits on it to this day. He's like, all right, we're going to work again. I'm like, yeah, we are. And I'm going to win. Like, it's okay. So
there you go. Joe said Scott Larson versus Alicia. So show him how it's done. No, Scott's never getting in the ring. So it's never going to happen. Never going to happen. Miss Love gets the victory because I forfeit.
It's okay.
I've seen her. We're going to watch her in a few minutes do some damage to somebody. She ain't doing that to me. No. So let me ask you a few questions about when you first started, man. That first time you got to go through the curtain, you know, the first paid gig you had, and you got to go through the curtain. How did that feel?
With it being a battle royal that night, my nerves weren't terrible, but they were up there because it's like, okay, most people know a girl that she's the girl training, when are you gonna work, when are you gonna start? And I didn't even get a chance to really announce when I found out I was gonna debut. So that night it was like, okay, there's no individual entrance, but you're coming out. So my nerves, they were solid, but it wasn't terrible because when I got out there, and, you know, the relatives of the other wrestlers, the trainees, they're like, it's you. And I'm like, yeah, and it was really more happiness than me. I tried not to cry. My mom has the video. I was just like this. That's why it took me a while to get in the ring because all I could do was keep looking like I've been training for this long now.
Right.
I'm on a show.
You was shell shocked. You were like, wow, I'm here. I'm finally here. I have to tell you a story about this. When I was a kid, I loved basketball. My favorite sport to play when I was a teenager was basketball. Mm-hmm. And I finally made the team as a freshman. I finally made the varsity team, and I was a point guard. I was a scoring guard. And I got in the game, and I did exactly what you did. As soon as the ball was tipped, the guy grabbed it, but the number one guard came down, the point guard came down, and I was in awe. And I'm standing here on the wrong side of the court, on the wrong side of the line, halfway line, and I'm looking around like, wow, like you did. I finally made it. And the referee just kept looking at me, and he was like, okay, finally, okay, foul, you 10 seconds. I can't remember what the foul was, but called a foul on me, and they got a free throw, technical foul. That's what it was, technical foul, because I didn't go down the court. Mm-hmm. And Yeah, I'll never forget that. And that's probably the same way you felt coming out and seeing the crowd and like, oh wow, this is cool, man. Oh, wait a minute, I got a match to go to.
It's just this, it's a big feeling, big difference compared to you coming out training wise, working with each other, and then a full crowd.
Right. No doubt. I could imagine. You were asked this before, and I think you gave us your indie answer. Let's go to the big shows, big time. Who would be your dream opponent if you got to go to like AEW or WWE, TNA or something like that? Who would be your dream opponent?
I would honestly love to work with Kiera Hogan one day. That's been something I've watched between her shine, other indie days. It was like, and it's crazy but corny. She was another girl that I got like, oh, she has pretty hair, but now I can see what, you know, fully understanding wrestling terms. Like, this girl is really good. This girl can move, and I want to be like.
I would love to see you, because I've watched you wrestle. I would like to see you and Nia Jax tangle. I think that would be two monsters in the ring going at it. Boy, that would be a fun match to watch. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's really I mean, it'll happen. Like, you can't predict the future. I became a fan of Nia because of what she represents. Is something that I kind of represent, you know, in indie wrestling, like being a bigger girl, being plus size, you know, natural.
I also saw that you're a big fan of Nightingale.
Oh my God, I love Willow. She is such a sweetheart. Every time, it's just everyone has a bright personality, but her, it's like it never fails. TV, in person, interview. Right? I love it.
Right? She is one of those face wrestlers that you just love. Her joy, and you could tell it's not fake. You could tell it's not a fake, you know, she's trying to be like that. She's just like that. And it's like, it makes you want to watch her. The first time I watched her and saw her was during the pay-per-view, this last pay-per-view they had. And I think she won the title that night. And I was like, wow, this girl's going to go far. If she keeps that spirit up, that's just going to be infectious, and people are going to love her. And then if that ever happens after 5-6 years of being that infect, and then she turns heel, oh my goodness!
Heel, I couldn't picture it. Like, my heart would break, but I know she could do it.
Right, but think about it. Being a female, of course, again, and then, you know, because Hulk Hogan, nobody ever saw Hulk Hogan, because for years he was the baby. He was the, you know, eat your vitamins, take your vitamins, and say your prayers, and do. And when he turned heel that night, look what happened. Everybody was throwing garbage. It was amazing, and you know, I didn't think Bayley would turn heel.
That was I had just gotten off work, and I saw her when she kicked Sasha. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, my daughter is a huge Bayley fan, and until she just turned back baby a couple weeks ago, she loved the little floaty thing. She loved that gimmick, and she was so mad. She didn't watch WWE for a long time because of that.
Yeah.
Let's see here. We are way far behind.
Oh no.
Robert, you already asked that question, man. You said, Alicia, are you part of a faction? You already asked that. He loves asking them twice. Joe said, Indy seemed like to see her go against Audrey Allen.
Fun fact, I'm waiting.
We're about to watch that.
Just round
there's the fact. Because I'm going to play this commercial real quick. You guys keep your comments. I will definitely get back to it. I'm going to play this short commercial from one of my sponsors. And then when we come out of that, we're going to watch Miss Alicia Love wrestle. And remember that name that just came out, because we're going to see her too. All right, we'll be right back.
This is 4 Foot Batman. And 4 Foot Batman knows the home of great collectibles at awesome prices. Retro toys and collectibles, movie memorabilia, Magic the Gathering cards, wrestling figures, Hot Wheels, the always popular Funko Pops, and much, much more. He knows the Hall of Collectibles is located in downtown Cherryville, North Carolina, at 400 East Main Street. Give them a call today, 980-989-5181. Retro Toys and Collectibles, the heavyweight champion in collecting.
There you go. Retro Toys and Collectibles. If you collect anything, and I mean anything, posters, Funko Pops, board games, video games, anything, I'm telling you, anything. Go into Retro Toys and Collectibles in Cherryville. Talk to Cotton. That's the name. That's the owner's name. Tell him #Truth sent you, and he will hook you up. If he doesn't have it in the store, he will get it for you. I guarantee you. That man's got a list of references this long, and it's in fine print. He knows everywhere to go to get the stuff. So, yeah, Retro Toys and Collectibles. So here we go. Let's watch Alicia wrestle. I'm going to play the intro and get everything ready. We'll be right back in 3 seconds. All right, there you go. I kind of got you kind of stretching out, getting ready for the match, but it's all good. So explain to us, this is APW in Boiling Springs. They're called the Asylum now. Explain to us who you're wrestling before I start it, and just tell us how this match came about.
This was the third women's match for the Asylum. And
Okay.
I saw the flyer. It was like wanted, dead or alive. And I'm like, okay, this guy, I had to look her up. And I was like, this girl is strong. And I'm like, okay, I have to work this. She is tall, muscular, and mini 5'1". Like, this is gonna be interesting. But I was like, you know what? I want a challenge. I'm excited. Let's do it. So,
well, let's go ahead and hit play, and let's watch you, and we'll talk while it's wrestling. While you're wrestling, I caught you kind of stretching and moving around a little bit. Now you grab something right there and toss it out. Do you use that for your entrance?
at that time I had some heart headbands, and there's this little girl who she captures my heart every single time.
Oh.
I was like, you know what? I missed her, and I told them, I was like, give it to her. Like that's
awesome. I love that. Giving back to the fans. See, that's again the bottom of my screen. Give us something to invest in. That girl will never forget that. Ever. So here we go. We're about to get it started. Now she looks pretty tough. I ain't gonna lie to you. She might be short, but she looks pretty tough.
Audrey's tough. Like I felt it a day after, but I was like, I'm
Back
good.
you up. Look at that tattoo. She got a tattoo of a gun on her hip. She better be tough on her thigh right there. She backed you up in the corner. She broke clean though. Okay. I like the crowd out. How do you like the crowd out at APW? Usually the Asylum has a really hot crowd out there.
They're amazing, like very vocal, always into active, and it just whatever it was, seeing hearts or the chants, I was like, I love it.
Nice toe. Nice toe. Toe. I can't even talk tonight. Got her in a wrist lock. She reversed it. Okay. Got you in the arm bar. Okay, what's she gonna do with that?
I was like, wait a minute. All right, we're playing merry-go-round. But it's okay.
She walking you around, yeah. She's laying it in though. Okay, now she puts you in the corner. Is she gonna clean break this time? Of course not. Got to give you the business while you're in the corner. Irish whip across. Oh, big splash. So when you wrestle women that are smaller than you, we'll just say high fly type, the ones that can move around quick. Do you use your power? What do you look for in your wrestling technique to beat someone like this?
Honestly, when it like same size, I really haven't had anyone say, well, the closest was probably Jada Stone when we had the first win match in December. But
Okay.
they've either been taller than me or we've been about semi-average, but they got me beat. But for me, it's like, okay, a powerhouse. I'm a I don't know. It's weird when you're both the same height. So it's more technique than, hey, how can I catch you off before you catch me?
There you go. Oh, she's got you wrapped around. Looks like she's going to come in with a
That
came in with a roundhouse. I thought she was going to give you a chop, but no.
I felt that. Still do to this day.
Robert. Okay, wait a minute. I was caught up and then it glitched. Where'd it go? That I'm trying to catch up to where I'm at. Ha ha ha! Mama said Mama's baby can take the men on anytime. You tell him, Mama. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, I got it from her.
I love that. Okay, let's go down. Okay, here we go. Robert Brown said, have you wrestled anyone that went on to WWE or AEW yet?
The only female I've worked with was Jada Stone, and that was for the first women's match when the Asylum fully transferred over to the Asylum.
Right. Okay. Robert's talking about Miss Willow, said she won the TBS title from Julia Hart. There you go. That's what I watched. Robert said, I think Willow needs to turn heel at the end of next year. Well, if that's what she does, again, I wouldn't want to do it that quick though, man. She's got a good following as a baby. I would keep her as a baby as long as I can. And with her having a belt, have all of them, heels chasing her, man. That's what would be fun. Now, there's a question I forgot. Have you won a title yet?
I haven't, but I
still on that, but that's okay. You're young, you're early in your career. So I mean, I'm pretty sure someone's gonna look up and see the talent, because I definitely see it.
Whether it's maybe one day a women's title, or if I gotta, face a man for their title, I'm gonna come for it and I'm gonna be ready.
There you go. Right now, you're not looking too ready in the ring, but I'm pretty sure it'll change in a minute. My dad wants to know, do you have a favorite town to wrestle in?
Really? Town? No.
Do you have a favorite? Do you have an organization that you call home?
SWA's really, really picked up home for me.
Okay.
They even running once every month. It's always so welcoming. It's a happy environment. Everyone is finally seeing who Alicia Love is, and with Georgia being my hometown, it's like I'm gonna represent, let these people know this is who Alicia Love is.
So you wrestle out at SWA, so you must know a good friend of mine in Riker.
I love Riker. Riker is
I like Riker too. I can't lie. I love him. He's a little he devil is what he is.
Riker with the good hair. That's what I call him.
That's it. He can wrestle too, boy. Oh, she's getting the best of you. You got to turn this thing around. Oh, got you in the. Oh, man. That's got to hurt. She's putting your sternum right into the ring rope, right into the corner. That'll take the air out of you.
That in an afro, it was just like, oh, it's hot.
Now I did notice you got the poof going on up there in this match. I've seen it looks like almost every match you have a different hairdo, which is awesome too, because it makes you unique.
Like I said, when I first discovered between Marty and Willow, they were the first girls to catch me. Like, hey, these girls wrestle in their natural hair. And if Mom's here, she can still vulge. For years, even high school, I was that girl who was like, I don't like my curly hair. I want this. I want that. But then,
so you got extensions and everything you could do to look different, huh?
Pretty much.
I got you. Hey, there's no shame in that, though. I like a lady who takes care of herself. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, my wife does the same thing. My wife will tell anybody the two most important things to her is her hair and her shoes.
Yep.
she cannot have a dirty pair of shoes, man. My wife will not walk around in a dirty pair of shoes. I'm telling you. But yeah, I mean, look at your opponent. Not, I don't want to get on the hair bit the whole time, but look at her hair. She got color going through it. Oh, and you pinned her. Good job.
I took a hit from those braids. I was like, that's probably worse than the chop.
No, she didn't like that either. She's arguing with the ref. Okay. But you got the win there. You're about to get your hand raised. Oh, look at that. You got a smile. Oh, okay. You're getting mad at her. took her out of the ring. All right. There you go. All right. There you go. Let me go ahead and change this back to the full screen. There we go. Yes, there she is wrestling. That was a great match. I enjoyed that.
That was honestly, like, even the things after that match, even being, fresh with females to be able to work. Audrey is one of my all-time favorite females that I've worked. I'm ready to run it back. And she's just, when a wrestler sits and takes time knowing that, you're still, as they say, green, you're still growing, you're new, to sit and talk with you for almost 30 minutes, even after a show.
Right.
Really, like, this girl could have just said, hey, done with the show, going home, good match. But that's touched my heart to this day. We've talked and I've told her that's touched me to keep going. The days I get frustrated with myself, like, someone's taking the time, hey, don't get frustrated, just keep going.
And see, that's what I love. I love those wrestlers that are like that. And you see a lot of things on Facebook, and it kind of drives me nuts, where you see, well, there's wrestlers that are only 2-3 years in the business training other people. Well, they might not be training them, but they might know something that the other one doesn't, and they're just lifting them up. I mean, they're not running a training school. They're just at a, like an hour before a show somewhere. They're in the ring. If they see you doing something that they know is wrong, I don't see anything with you going over and saying, hey, I was taught to do it this way. And that's how you bring each other up and make great wrestling shows. And sometimes I don't understand people when they get, all bent out of shape about stuff like that. This is for me. And I know that's something I've sort of been told, like, as you grow in the business, you put yourself first, but you have to be, hey, I want to be better than the next person. I'm a competitive person, but not on a comparing level. I want to lift up while also building myself so I can see you grow, and we both can put in work, on, and top tier. That's exactly, man. I love your attitude. Again, Mama, you did a good job. I'm telling you, that's awesome. I hope Mama watches the whole show. She needs to. Joe said, bit of wrestling trivia. Xander Keys got Audrey Allen into the business. And I'm going to be interviewing Xander Keys next week, and I will be showing that card in just a minute. See, you're reading my mind, Joe. You're doing my cues before I even get to them, man. Slow down. We're going to get there. There's Mama. Natural can be the best. Always be you, whatever you do. See, Mamas always give the best advice, man. I wish my mama was still here. I lost my mama in 2009, so it's been a while for me. But God bless you, man. God bless you, Mama. I'm glad you done. Like I said, you done right. I would take my money, please. I want to come and see Alicia Love wrestle. Okay, I'm going to tell you that right now, without a doubt. But
social media, I'd be like, y'all hashtag Mama Love. I tried. I was like, she's not on social media, but I'll show her. She loves you too.
There you. I appreciate it. There you go. Oh, maybe I can make a fan out of Mama. She can watch hashtag Truth every once in a while. All right. Okay. Now we're to my favorite part of the show. We're at about the 45-minute mark. This is my favorite segment of the show. Everybody always tells me they enjoy this. So I'm going to hit the video and come back, and we're going to do name drop. I'm going to show Miss Alicia Love 5 wrestlers, pictures of wrestlers. And she knows all 5 because she's on video wrestling these people. So I want to hear what she has to say about these guys. So we'll be right back after this quick intro, and I'll get it set up and we'll do name drop. Well, I thought I was going to get it set up, but apparently I wasn't quick enough. I forgot to put it up on my other screen. But we're going to get there real quick. It's just my error. Here we go. All right, we are there. You can see in the bottom corner it says name drop Alicia Love. So here we go. First name on the list, Miss J. I think it's Alejandra.
Yeah.
J. Alejandra. Tell us about J. Alejandra.
The Wicked Witch of Wrestling. You know, I fear green apples because of her, but we've talked about it. But I mean, for our first time really working each other, it went good. It was the good story. For me, when I found out I was working here, I was like, all right, Cinderella, Disney movie, good versus evil, apple, you know, versus the princess, and I had fun. It was like a fairy tale story to me.
And that's what it's supposed to be when you get in the ring. You're supposed to tell a story, and that's all. The fans will love you for that. That's giving us something to invest in. That'll make me come back. If you have a story with a witch, and especially if you start using her stuff against her, that would bring me back. Oh my goodness. Take my money, please. All right, name number 2. We talked about him, your long rival, Mr. Jay Stunna.
You know, I guess I can forgive him, you know, for cutting my hair. But I mean, that was really one of my tough challenges. Like you said, back to back, you know, I'm going to get you. I got you.
Did you guys have a hair match, or did he just do it to be evil?
He did it to be evil, but then he would again. No, I got you. It was during our Halloween show, so he had to wear a dress with hearts on it, of course. So
so you had that kind of match, and he had to come out in a dress?
Did.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh, I got to go find that if it's up on YouTube. I'm definitely going to go find that. Oh, my goodness. I got to see that. All right, name number 3. You mentioned her earlier, Miss Clara Carter.
That girl's tough. Like, tough as rock.
She's got 2 belts hanging on her shoulder and around her waist. She better be tough.
That AIWF earlier in March, the show got canceled. I was like, you know, round 2, it's might time for me to make your belt a little lovely, but then the show got canceled. Like,
oh man,
Clara, if you do see this, or you know, if I gotta let her know, let's run it back again.
Hey, definitely, without a doubt. All right, here we go. Name number 4. We're getting to the good ones now. The last 2 are always the best for me. Dusty. I saw you wrestle this man. Or he was in a match with you, Mr. Dusty Money. Tell me about him.
I tagged with Dusty my 3rd night. It was me and him versus Stunna and the Stash, and it was fun. Dusty always has a good attitude. He's always so energetic and active, unpredictable. Oh, yeah. But that's probably one of my, even though it was one of my first tag matches, probably a favorite that I'll be like, let's do it again. Like, just it's so much fun out there with someone who's active and unintentionally hilarious.
Right? He's like, you know, we were talking about Willow. He's got that Willow attitude. He's just happy to be there. He's happy to be in the ring. He's happy to be in professional wrestling. And I like watching him. He's a mainstay at HWA where I frequent. So it's awesome. He's in a tag team out there with Mr. Ben Wright. So all right, this 5th one, this one's the one I really want to hear. This is the last one. When I saw this match, I was like, oh boy, this is going to be good. Ghazi. Tell me about Ghazi.
Ghazi, it's another unpredictable, but it's so much energy in the ring. Like, when you get 2 good competitors in the ring that, okay, you know, like we tried to run we said hugs, and I can't remember what we were going to try to name it, but it was fun. It was uplifting, a moment of, okay, a little bit of, okay, what can you do? I'm going to help you. Let's go out there and let's kill it. And honestly, I feel like every time we did, even when we tagged a few times, it was great.
Now, see, I love that. I'm not big on both wrestlers being in the back and and mapping out their whole match. I'm not big on that. You know, usually I guess I'm old school. I like one person to call the match in the ring because I look for that. I know I'm a mark. Most people don't see it, but I look for the whispers in the ear and the, you know, grabbing them and you know, talking. I look for that stuff because I'm a mark. But, you know, when you go in the back and you have two wrestlers that get together and the first question out of their mouth is, okay, what can you do? What spots do you want to accomplish? Let's go from there and tell a story.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. I like that. I mean, is that what you guys basically did?
It wasn't like off rip, like a story script, like, hey, okay, let's do this.
Right.
It was, what are you comfortable doing? What do you want to do? And just merging it together to where we both know, all right, we can do this safe. Let's do something to help you build, but nothing too crazy. Just as long as you're comfortable and ready for it, let's go out there and do it.
And that's great. And that's how you learn. And that's how you become better. And that's awesome, man. You went through that like a trooper. All 5 people. That was pretty good. I like that. I'm trying to
help break that stupid shy stage in me. It's like you gotta up a little bit. So all grace and thanks, because every time it was
you nervous when I said I was going to give you 5 wrestlers and you had to say something about them? Did you get a little nervous?
I was like, wait a minute, like I'm definitely honest, but I'm like, who can it be? And I'm like, okay, this is going well.
I hope it made you feel a little bit more calm when I said I know you wrestled all 5 of these people. Yeah. Because if I don't know you very well, that's what I do the name drop off of. I go and watch you do matches, and then I use that because I know at least you talk to them for a few minutes. So you know something about them if you wrestled them. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, but do you have any plans of going back to APW Asylum anytime soon? Because APW Asylum is right behind. It's right in my backyard, basically. I can throw a rock and hit the asylum.
You know, if the love got to come back to the Springs, I'm ready. Like I look forward to it.
I'm gonna have to hit up I'm gonna have to hit up the owner out there now and tell him we want some love coming back to the asylum. So I'm gonna hit him up right after the show and say, hey, did you watch the show? Because you need to go back. She needs to come back. We need to see more of her.
We need the love. We're ready to spread the love. That's what it's all about.
Oh, man. Okay. All right, Joe. I love you too, man. He said, with all the talk of women athletes tonight, we left out the Washington Commanders. You gotta go there, man. See, I did that just for you. I did that just for you, man. Just for you. They make fun of me all day long on here. Now, I've got to show a video I was asked about by Robert earlier. I hope Robert's still around. But apparently there's a wrestler out there who is very offended that I have not invited him on the hashtag truth. And he sent me some messages. This is his latest message, basically telling me what he's telling me what he's going to do to me. So we're going to watch this for a second, and then we're going to spend the last few minutes asking questions to Alicia. So let's show you this video of this. I'm going to call him a loser that put this video out here to me. He's a little mean, but here he goes.
Scott Larson, you keep acting like I'm not a threat towards you. You keep going on with your interviews, but that's fine, because I will find you and I will beat you to a pulp, because you are a fake and a liar of your old wrestling. You love your new stuff, and as much as you like to decline it, you can't. So I'd watch out, because I seriously hurt you when I find you and break every bone in your body.
He seems a little upset.
That's violent.
Right? He seems a little upset. I'm not scared of him, though. I got a lot of wrestling buddies who already said they'll protect me, but
I think he needs a hug and little stuffed animal or something.
He needs some Alicia love is what he needs. He needs some of that heart right there, right? That's what I'm saying. Yeah. There you go. Send the love out to this loser. Oh, gosh. Joe said he made that video in the bathroom. I don't know where he made it, Joe, but I have no idea. But he doesn't like me at all, whoever he is. I'm imagining I'll get one in a couple of days or next week or something like that, because he's just going to keep going until he claimed. I heard through the grapevine that he might come out to HWA and confront me, but we'll see. We'll see. But all right, so tell us where we can find Alicia Love on social media, and tell all the promoters out there where they can find you if they want to hook up with you and get you on their show.
For social media, I know definitely Facebook. I had my wrestling page up, but it somehow got deleted. So you can find me with Alicia Walker as my Facebook. I post my wrestling promos, shows you can catch me at, definitely on Facebook. I upload on YouTube as well. That is in my Facebook bio as well. And Insta is XO Ali X Love _ I'm weird. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's unique. Nobody can copy you, right? I like that. But be sure, ladies and gentlemen, when you go on Facebook, her name's Alicia Love in the ring with the A, but it's Alicia with an E when you go on Facebook to look her up. I made that mistake. I'm looking ALICI, and I couldn't find her for nothing. And then she sent me a message, and oh, it's spelled with an E, and it's like capital E, small L, capital I. It's like you got all kinds of things going on there, and I was like, I would have never guessed that. But that's awesome. I like it. It's original.
That's another thing from the good Mama Love, like especially in high school. No, it's E apostrophe capital L. I'm like, okay. It took me a while. Like, is it a big deal? I'm like, you know what? It is. So
yeah, it is. It makes you unique, and that's great. That sets you apart, and I like things like that. That is so beautiful. So let me ask you a question that a lot of my guys ask on here. Again, being on YouTube, we didn't have as many as we usually do with the mess up. So I am going to invite you back to a future show, and we're going to get you on when Facebook gets all that mess taken care of, and we're going to get you a proper show with a lot more people. But I do want to thank Mama for showing up, Mama Love for showing up, Joe for showing up, Robert Brown for showing up. My dad was on here asking some questions. Thank you very much. So I appreciate everybody showing up tonight and commenting and asking questions. But we're definitely going to have you back because I want to come see you wrestle. So we're going to show the poster of one of the posters of where you're going to be next. I uploaded it just as we were coming on. So tell us about this show coming up.
So next week on Thursday, May 2nd, I'll be making my Tennessee debut for Tennessee wrestling. It's during the Teapot Festival. It's in Trenton, Tennessee. Like I said, Tennessee debut. I believe I'm working Maddie the American Baddie. So
okay. And look at that. You got Memphis wrestler Hall of Famer Doug Gilbert's going to be there. So that's something. You get to be in the same locker room with a star like that. That is pretty cool. Do people like that, if you have a star like that in the locker room, do you get awestruck?
Honestly, it's an honor, but I also still remember they're human. You know, they're working their career just like us. So to give them their space until it's appropriate to be like, hey, good to meet you. This is me. Even a little bit of, hey, is there any advice you can give me as I'm still growing?
Look at Joe. I told you he's one step ahead of me. I was about to do this. He's basically running my show for me. Thank you, Joe. He said, remember, show the people for next week. All right, we're going to do that right now. Next week on #Truth. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday, we're going to have Xander Keys. Wednesday, we're going to have The Purge. And Friday, I can't wait to talk to this guy. He's brand new to me. So Paradox PW. So you guys come back for all those great shows next week, all at 7 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on this channel. If Facebook doesn't have everything taken care of, you can, again, go on my Facebook page, click on the link. I'll have the link up until they get it fixed, just like you did tonight to watch Miss Alicia over here. And you can come on and do everything that you normally do on Facebook. I don't know why Facebook wants to lose all this money. I really don't, but it is what it is. And I appreciate you, Joe. And Mama said, loved it. Thanks. Enjoyed. We loved you being here, Mama. It's people like you that make my show, make me love doing my show. And when you got a great wrestling daughter like this, it's great. She's got a great personality, great wrestlers. You can tell she's a hard worker, and I know she got that from you. So yeah, I love you just as much as I love her, and I hope you do very well in your future endeavors. And again, I want you to come back on #Truth a little longer down the line, and we'll get you a bunch of people watching that night.
I'll be looking forward to it. Like, this was great. I had fun, and it's another way to just.
Well, I'm glad. I get compliments on my show, and I don't take compliments very well. I'm gonna watch this show afterwards. I'm gonna be like, darn it, I messed up there. I always do that. I'm a perfectionist, but you know, it is what it is. But I gotta tell you, like I said, I was excited for 2 weeks for this interview, and I thought I wasn't gonna have it at first. When I did that first video this morning and everything was messing up, I was like, man, I'm gonna have to disappoint her and tell her we're gonna have to reschedule. And then a buddy of mine showed me that how I could put the link up there and do that. And then I really went to work getting everything else put together. So I appreciate you being on here. And Joe said, I never compliment you, but Alicia is great. He said he never complimented you, but you are great. There you go. And like I said, if you're ever at the asylum, send a message my way, and I'd love to come back there and watch you. It would be a pleasure to come up there. Maybe I'll interview you in person. That would be a good thing, because I am starting to get some equipment to go to wrestling shows and do like a live interview there, where I'm going to have a table and a couple, sort of like Piper's Pit back in the day. I don't know if you remember Piper's Pit, but you know, the 2 chairs and the wrestler comes in and it's like a set. I'm working on that right now. So hopefully we can get that together. But do you have any shout outs other than your mom? Do you have any shout outs out there for any wrestlers that are watching or anybody that's helped you along the way?
Honestly, it's a lot on the list, but again, to the ones who have helped, you know, Alicia Love, become who Alicia Love is. Thank you. It's only up from here. I'm gonna keep working, and whatever happens. I expect the unexpected. The 11-year-old me is still, hey, you're doing this. Like, even coworkers, they're like, you do what? I'm like, yep, I do. So I'm
a wrestler. What? Yeah, let me body slam you. Come here.
Have to go wrestle. They're like, you know what? Go for it. So,
hey, that's the way you get fans to the shows like that. Go into work and say, hey, wear a shirt. I'm a professional wrestler. You know, that's what I'm talking about. Well, Alicia, I'm going to end the show like this. She is Alicia. Well, I'm going to point to the right direction. This is Alicia Love. She is a great professional wrestler. Catch her at shows like APW, UCW, and she's going to be in Tennessee this week. I'm going to flash the poster up there, so in case you guys want to pause and check it out, she's going to be at Tennessee Championship Wrestling on May the 2nd, and it's going to be a great show. Definitely come out there. And Alicia Love has all the love in the world because her mama made her that way, and that is the #truth. We'll see you guys Monday night.